Hi everybody, today I want to talk about nipple rulers. If you have followed me for a while, you know that flange size on that pump is really critical to making sure that you're efficiently and thoroughly emptying the breast with your pump. The wrong size flange can really do damage to your breast. Not only can the wrong size flange cause pain and damage to the nipple, and to the breast, it cannot efficiently empty your milk, which leaves milk behind, which increases your risk of plug ducts and mastitis, or can run your risk of decreasing your milk supply. So pump flange size is essential. So I want to show you some different ways that you can get that right size flange. Okay, so nipple measurement is one piece of the pie when you're doing a flange assessment. So there's all kinds of nipple rulers out there to help you get an estimate of the size of your nipple for where to start when doing a pump flange fitting. So let's talk about some of these. This is an engineering caliper that I actually got on Amazon for $5. And this is what I used when I started my career. Nipple rulers from lactation companies didn't exist. So I just bought this caliper, which goes in millimeters and inches. And I would take this and I would just measure the base of the nipple. And this would be where we would start. So this is an engineering caliper. My dad used to have one of these from the 80s. He's an electrical engineer. So really cheap way to do that. To kind of get the gauging of the size of your nipple. My kids also love to play with this now because they can draw lines of different lengths. So multi-use. When you're done measuring your nipple, you've got something fun to play with the kids. Save the Milk basically did a similar concept. They made a nipple-specific caliper. So this is a caliper in technical terms. And again, you would put the base of your nipple in here. Give it a little mammogram. It's a little nipplegram to try to measure your nipple, okay? So the base of, you measure basically at the base of the nipple, and what size they have in here, you'll get a little number, and that would be the number of the diameter of your nipple and where you would start for buying your flange. So that's, again, caliper style done by a lactation company. Then you have actual rulers. This is by Rue, the boob boss. She's amazing. Go check out her content. This one is from Lactation Hub. Legendary Milk has these. There's a lot of lactation companies, pump companies, and herbal companies, and supply companies that have now made these silicone rulers. Rue's ruler is all in even numbers. So her goes from 8 millimeter to 32 millimeters in even numbers. So you would take your breast and your nipple and you would put your nipple in until you find the right diameter of your nipple. Now this is what I call, side note, a doorknob nipple, where the base of the nipple is much narrower than the tip of the nipple. These are tricky nipples. I don't see this type of nipple very often, but they are one of the hardest to fit with pump flanges because the base of the nipple usually needs a smaller size than the tip of the nipple. And so it's finding that delicate balance of meeting the two. Most babies can latch to this nipple just fine. It fills their mouth differently than it would in a flange tunnel. I have found with these doorknob nipples using a silicone flange like the Lactex, where there's a lot of cushion and give, or the Pump and Pals can really help because the hard plastic is just not forgiving on this type of anatomy. So if I were to start sizing on this type based on diameter, I would probably start, this is measuring like 26. I would start with probably a 24 millimeter flange and might go up to a 27 to find what feels comfortable on this anatomy. Now Lactation Hub's ruler has a mix of even and odd numbers. So there's 30, 27, 25, 24, 21, 20, et cetera, et cetera. So the difference between these, similar material, this one's a little firmer, doesn't really matter. This one's a little softer, similar concept. The holes are the same. It's diameter. They're the same. They're equal. It's just how many holes do you have for the difference between these two. So this is honestly the majority of the nipples that I see in my practice, this size. And this one would actually measure, so if I plump up my nipple, this one's going to measure between 15 and 13 because this one doesn't have a 14. So this one, 15's a little big, 13's a little small. If I put it on Rue's nipple measurer, She has even numbers. Ding, 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 that 14 fits just perfect. So this nipple, I would actually probably start in a 15 millimeter flange insert and kind of go up or down from there. So nipple rulers are a really handy tool if you're a lactation consultant and you're trying to help get an estimate. This can be really helpful. It is like finding a bra. You may measure with a tape measure at a 36D based on measurements, but we all know that a 36D in every different brand runs different with the bandwidth and the number of hooks and how wide the strap is and where the strap is placed and the cup cut and all that good stuff. So you may wear a 36D in Victoria's Secret, but you might actually be a 38C from that brand bra from Target, or a 34 double D if you're in a Fredericks bra or some other brand, just based on dimensions of your unique anatomy and how it approaches that fabricated bra. Similar concept with your pump flanges. You may measure with one of these at a 15 millimeter for the diameter of your nipple, but you might actually find it more comfortable and empty more efficiently with a 17 millimeter flange, or a 19, or a 14, or a different brand. A Lactech or a Bojan cushion might get you that perfect fit, or a Pump and Pal, or a Maymom flange. There's so many different flanges out there now, and the most important thing is usually you have to size down from what comes in that box. What comes with the pump is a standard. It would be like putting everybody into a 34C bra. Not all of us are a 34C girlfriend, right? So it's an estimate that was standardized hundreds of years ago, really, well, 150 years ago when pumps were created. We now know with so many more people pumping that flanges are not one size fits all. So nipple rulers can, again, give you a really good estimate, an idea of where that nipple is. You might have to go up or down. If you are a lactation consultant, these can be really handy when you're starting to size flanges to know where to start, to be able to help find people get a more comfortable fit, knowing that you might have to try 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 different kinds of flanges, different diameters, until you find that French kiss perfect fit. All right, thanks everybody. Now you know.